My name is Alicia Washington, and this is my home. I, my 6 biological children, and my god's daughter, Brittany, and my god's sister, Britannica, we all stayed here at the time of the fire. There was a young lady that also stayed here at that time as well. Her name was Jessica. She was getting ready to pack up and leave, and she still had some belongings here. But at the time that the fire started, my 5 children were inside sleeping in my bedroom. All 5 were in my bedroom. And my 12-year-old decided to walk down to my mom's house with my sister. And so they were sleeping, and my goddaughter was on the couch as well, sleep, and my god sister was on the living room couch as well, sleep. My oldest daughter, Victoria, she's 14. She smelled smoke, and she got up. Usually Victoria's the hardest sleeper in the house. But she got up, and she went into the dining area, and she saw smoke coming. So she immediately woke up my goddaughter, Brittany, who's 26. She immediately woke her up and told her, Brittany, I smell smoke. So Brittany got up, and Britannica heard, so Britannica got up as well. By the time Brittany and Britannica got up, the dining room / kitchen was engulfed in flames. So therefore they began to run to my bedroom to start grabbing up children. I had left briefly to go to the store and get some cereal and milk for my babies. And so by the time I was getting ready to come back, I was down the street, and I had just gotten off the phone. My goddaughter called me and said, Mama, the house is on fire. And I thought maybe she was playing, but in actual fact, she was not. So I immediately called my little sister, who was at my mom's house down the street with my 12-year-old daughter. And I said, y'all get to the house. I'm close by. I'll either beat you there or I'll meet you there. They began to come. They asked the neighbor to bring them up. He brought them here, which is directly down the street, right down the street at the park. So by the time they made it here, my 12-year-old ran in the house into the flames to get the siblings. They were asleep. All of them were sleeping except for Victoria. So my 4 babies, my 10-year-old, my 7-year-old, my 6-year-old, and my 5-year-old, they were still asleep in the bed. And so they immediately, and I was keeping a young lady's baby that was 5 months old as well. So she was in the living room with my daughter Brittany, but she was asleep as well. So they immediately, my daughter took the baby out first and took her over to one of our neighbors, Miss Jean, I call her mom, took her to her house for me. And my goddaughter immediately ran back in to get the rest of them. And in the process, Victoria was grabbing the baby sisters and such, and the baby brother as well. And they were shifting them. And mom, the neighbor, Miss Jean, she said, y'all come this way. She grabbed them up, and she was going in, and she was grabbing kids as well. So by the time I made it, the last baby was coming across from over here, and fire departments had this end blocked off, and they were getting ready to block this end off. So by the time I came, I just took off running because they wouldn't let me come down the street. So I just immediately took off running because I had on a nightgown and a bathrobe. I was just going to get cereal and milk. And I had people here with my babies. And so by the time I came back, I wasn't concerned. I didn't look at the house. I was worried about my babies, all my babies. And so once I saw that they were safe, I was over here at Miss Jean's house. And so I immediately ran to my baby's aid, and they ran to me screaming. We're both crying. Everybody was crying. And they were just saying that they don't know what happened. The house is on fire. The house is on fire. My 5-year-old had just had a birthday the day before, which was the 16th. The house caught on fire on the 17th. She lost everything. Every birthday present, everything. Clothes, shoes. She had nothing on but a shirt and a pair of panties because she was snatched out of the bed. I had nothing on but a gown and a house coat. No shoes. Nobody had shoes. Not my son, not any of my 5 daughters, not even the older adult, the 2 adults that were in the living room. Nobody had anything. The baby that I was keeping, her diaper bag burnt up on the inside of the house. She had no milk. She had no nothing. So everything was lost. No diapers, no milk, no clothes for my kids, no clothes for me, no clothes for my god sister, no clothes for my goddaughter. We were just all here, and I just immediately began to think that, okay, there's nothing, because I am a mom, and the only thing that I care for is my kids being safe. And I saw that they were safe, but then I immediately went to mom mode and said that, hey, we have nothing. And I'm looking at my 5-year-old daughter run around crying and screaming with no shoes, just panties and a shirt. And one of the young ladies that was in the neighborhood ran in the house immediately and got her some shorts, which I'm thankful for that. But at that time, all we thought was there's nothing left. And so in between that time, some kind of way, I passed out. I blacked out, and I looked up to the paramedics, and they told me I had to focus, and they got me together because I have asthma, and then I have anxiety, and I have a few other issues as well. And all my medicine, it's gone. I lost it in the fire. Everything that we possess, I have no insurance at all. No renter's insurance, no type of insurance on this home at all. This was all we had. My husband had just left a few months earlier because of a sobriety issue. He went back to drugs, and so by DHS's law, it was either he stay and they take my kids, or he go. And I chose my kids because I realized that I do have nothing else. They are what keeps me grounded. They are what keeps me going. They are what keeps me moving. And to see my babies hurt by all that we have, this is everything we possess. We have nothing more, no resources. I'm not a working mom. I was not working because my husband asked me not to, so that I could sit with the baby girl. And she will be in school this year because she turned 5, but that's neither here nor there. So I have no job, have no insurance, have no way of replacing any of this. This house was given to me by a guy, the landlord, and he's gone. He passed. And so there's no way of me even contacting him to do anything right now, because all of his homes that he possessed are in probate because he's no longer with us. And so I began to think, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? How am I going to make it? And so the first thing I thought was call the church. And so I immediately began to reach out to pastors on Facebook to try to get some assistance. Red Cross, I guess the fire department or the police station called the Red Cross for me. And so they helped in every way that they could. They gave me money allocated for clothing and food and shoes and such. But it was only enough to cover my children. And me being the mom that I am, I had 2 other adults with me, but at that point I didn't care. I had to make sure my kids had. And so that left me and the other 2 adults without. And so my pastor began to speak to me, Bishop Brinson M. Stewart. He began to talk to me, and he said that I'm going to get on this radio station and I'm going to pull as much as I can. And then a young lady called me. She said that she's an advocate and she will begin to make calls for me to see if we can find a shelter that we can go in after my 3 days at the hotel was up. Bless God, it is now the 6th day at the hotel, because I've had some people to come in, and even without me knowing, they paid for 3 additional days for me and my family. And I'm truly, truly grateful. But everything we possess is here. Everything. My daughter was on drill team, my 12-year-old. She lost all of her drill team stuff that was needed for next year. My 14-year-old, she was into doing makeup and hair and things, and everything that she had collected over these years, it's gone. My baby's birthday presents, as I stated, they're all gone. This is all we have left, a shell of a house. If you take a walk through, there are no walls anywhere. All the walls are gone. I can stand here in this room, which was my storage, and I can see my whole house clear up until the other side, the trees right here on the side. That's just how bad it is. My front porch over here, the heat was so intense that the concrete buckled and it broke. So I no longer have a front porch. The car that was parked in front, it's no longer a car. It's a shell. Everything inside of it is gone. This was the only means of transportation. It was not mine. It was a friend's, but this was the only means of transportation we had. And she had no insurance on her vehicle. There's no insurance on the house. This was my oldest daughter's room. Everything in it. You can see the roof. You can see straight through it. There's nothing there. This was my bedroom and my bathroom. You can see through it. This was the living room. This was the dining room in the living room. This is my storage area. And across the hall from my daughter's room was my other daughter's room, my other kid's room. And all of it is gone. Everything that we've had, everything that I've collected over this course of 4.5 years, really just over life, period, I've lost it. And I mean, me as a mama, the first thing I immediately think is, how do I pick up from here? What do I do? How do I keep being mama to 6 kids that are looking up to me when I don't know which way I'm going myself? So my bishop began to talk and said that I couldn't sit and wonder and ponder. I had to get up and make something happen. I had to do something. So he told me about this little, I guess this website called GoFundMe.com. And I heard about it, but I couldn't remember because I had so much going on, because he told me the day of the fire. So I had so much going on, I couldn't think of it. And so I immediately went to Mississippi because I have a godmother down there. And she was like, I got some stuff. Y'all come down here. And so we left out. One of the young ladies, one of my friends, she rented us a vehicle. And we left out Friday. And we went to Mississippi. Now, my kids came back with a number of things. She took my older 2 girls to the outlet mall and bought them nice things, things, I mean, enough for them to, pick up and say, okay, it's gonna be okay. I'm not saying it was a lot of stuff, and I'm not discrediting anything, but what I'm saying is it's enough for them to feel like, okay, things are gonna be okay, everything is gonna be well. At this point, I really don't care if I get anything. I don't. All I'm worried about and concerned about is if my children get. I have 6 that God has given me, and I have to. It is my goal. It is my mission. I have to provide for those 6 because who else is going to do it? Yes, they have fathers. But, in life we have absentee fathers. We've all experienced it. I've experienced it. And some say I overcompensate, but I just say I do what I'm supposed to do as a mom. And so I immediately, Sunday on our way back from Mississippi, I thought about it. I was like, after I talked to a few young ladies at the outlet mall, they were saying, go on GoFundMe. And I was like, someone else said that. And they said, do it, just do it. They can help you. And then it's some other websites that they gave me as well that would help with clothes and other things. And so Sunday on our way back, I decided that I was going to go ahead and try GoFundMe.com. And when I did it, immediately, I mean, maybe after I set the campaign up, maybe like 4 hours later, a young lady by the name of Bethany, she called me before I even set up GoFundMe. She called me and asked me if I'd be back Sunday, and if I would. She wanted to get some groceries. She was going to the store. She said that she's a college student, and she got the information from someone, because by this time I had not put it on Facebook at all yet. Hadn't even set up the GoFundMe account or campaign or anything. By this time, this was really kind of like word of mouth. Somebody told her. And so she called me on the phone, and she said, my name is Bethany. I called and left you a message yesterday. I just wanted to bless you guys. She said, I got some things for the babies. And I wanted to get you guys some groceries. Do you guys have any food? And I told her no. Everything I have, my EBT card burnt up in the house, socials burnt up in the house, birth certificates is all gone in the house. All of that was in a backpack in my room, in the closet, stashed away. And I thought it was safe. But everything that I possess on me, my kids, any information, anything, it's gone. We've lost it in the fire. And so I said, okay, well, hi, Bethany. How are you? She said, I'm good. I want to bless you guys with some food, and I'm going to the storage. Do you need pillows? Do you need blankets? I told her, yeah, we'll take whatever you have. Pillows, blankets, towels, soap, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, whatever. From big to little, I really don't care. Socks, if you want to go to Dollar Tree and buy a pair of socks or some dollar flip-flops, I don't care. At this point, I have nothing, and I am appreciative of everything, and I've always been that way. That's just the way my mom's raised me. I'm appreciative of any and everything. And she said, okay, well, Sunday morning, I'm going to call you when I'm on my way. And I'm going to bless you girls. And I'm also going to give you a $50 gift certificate. And I said, okay. Well, as soon as I set up the website, GoFundMe, the campaign for it, she immediately, and I mean maybe 3 or 4 hours into it, she immediately saw it, got on there, and blessed me with $50. And I was like, my God. She said she was going to do it, and she did it. She was a woman of her word. And so I immediately began to thank her. I called her on the phone, and I said, Bethany, I so appreciate you. She said, it's the least I can do, and when I come across some more, I'm going to bless you again. And I told her she didn't have to do that, but thank you. And she said, it's not a have to, it's something I want to do. And I told her thank you. But this is what we have left. And I mean, I understand that people get on GoFundMe.com and, a lot of times it can be scams. And I do understand that. But honestly, mine is not a scam. I have nothing, and I have 6. I have 6 beautiful children, 5 girls and a boy that's looking at mommy every day, wondering what's next. I maintain a smile. I don't break down in front of my kids because it's just not what I'm going to do. I want them to think and know that everything is okay. And that's what I want their innocence to stay as innocent. Even when all around us is falling apart, I want them to know that we have each other. And that's what I'm instilling in them. That's why I don't break down in front of them. Now I do when I go take my bath. That is my fallout point. I break down, cry, do whatever. But this wise woman, Lady Michelle Stewart, she's Bishop Brinson Stewart's wife. She once told me when my husband went to prison, she told me that I was allotted 15 minutes a day to cry. And she said, once I set myself on that regimen, it'd become less and less and less. And I thank her for that. And I use that in everything I do. I'm allotted 15 minutes to cry, minus my kids being around. So that 15 minutes, if it's the bathtub or the shower, then I'm allotted my 15 minutes a day to cry. And then once I'm done, I have to pick up and keep moving. And I thank her to this. She don't even know how she's blessed me with that. And this was years ago. This is like maybe 5 years ago she told me this. And I still use it to this day. And I'm very appreciative of her. I'm very appreciative of her and her husband because at my time of need, I called them. I hadn't been to church in a little while. I called them, and they immediately went to work for me. He got to calling. He was on the radio station. He had people calling me, advocates to help me find shelter, advocates to help me find food, and then advocates to bring my kids clothes. Immediately, the day of the fire, my kids had, my babies and my older, we had 4 boxes of clothes and 4 trash bags, and I'm not talking about the little bitty trash bags. I'm talking about the big clear trash bags of clothes and shoes and socks and underclothes and winter stuff and summer stuff and hair stuff. It was just, they pulled in when I needed them the most, and I am so appreciative of them. And I'm just asking you guys to just take a little bit of time and have a little bit of consideration to help us. I've helped many, And I was always told the ones that I bless will not be the ones that bless me. It'll be others that bless me. And I poured not for a reward, not to boast or brag about it, because that's just who I am. I feel like if I bless someone else is going to bless me. So that's why I do it. I don't do it for show. I've never done anything for show. If anybody knows me, they know that it's not for show. So if you could, just please have a consideration and bless me and my 6 children. We will really greatly, 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 greatly appreciate you. And God bless you.